Welcome to Loyalty360's Thought Leadership and Loyalty series. Today, we're here with Comarch, a global designer, provider, and integrator of innovative IT solutions, advanced electronics, and hardware solutions.
So, what is the biggest challenge that your clients face today in creating measurable experiences to drive customer loyalty? And then how would you recommend they measure the efficacy?
So, I'm looking at the customers that we work with right now. It seems like the biggest challenge continues to be tracking. There's a big transition right now happening in the marketplace. For the last about, let's say, 10 years, there's a big boom in the online space. It was maturing. It's fully mature now. Everybody understands how online operates. And tracking online kind of became a standard. It's very well understood. Now, in terms of brick and mortar and more offline experiences, ones in which the customer is moving throughout the space, there's no golden standard as of yet. There are some attempts being made by companies, including us, in the beacon space. We have a successful deployment with Hudson's Bay Company. So we're making progress, but I feel like the most work needs to be done in tracking. So we're definitely looking forward to helping our customers with that.
Wonderful. Now, what are the biggest opportunities, or would you say challenges, for brands and marketers today? And then if you could recommend one thing to a client or a prospective client, what would it be?
So, if you asked any seasoned marketer, the standard answer over time, is going to be channel attribution. So, when we look at what's happening, and this ties into what I was talking about, before, if we look at what the customers are doing right now, the easiest thing to do would be to attribute everything to digital. But that's not the way the world works. The customers walk around and move around through reality, collect experiences, and those experiences that they collect more and more often actually drive their behavior that we have now the ability to measure through computer systems. Coming back to my first point, figuring out exactly what was the trigger for the customer to either make the purchase or return to the store is still the holy grail. And it will always be, understanding the customer better and better is a continuous process. The fact that there are some standards and ways of understanding how the customer moves through digital properties doesn't solve the whole problem. So I feel like, going forward, channel attribution, whether it's actually truly coming from online advertisement, or is it coming from, an ad that the customer saw while they were, walking through the city, or, traveling, figuring out exactly the touch point that triggered the interaction, and having a good understanding of what channel it's coming through is a key to success.
Now, how sophisticated are the customer experience and customer loyalty initiatives of most brands today?
So we see anything ranging from simple points bank and cashback type operations to, and those are the most common, if I were to say anything. The market is evolving. We're in an interesting place where, especially here in the United States, there's been quite a large restart in terms of understanding what loyalty is and what it should be going forward. So now these simple programs, cashback programs are evolving. They're getting an upgrade. The most on the other side of the spectrum, the most advanced, we're asked to build systems that do prediction on on offer, on new offers. So it's a way for the computer to suggest what kind of offers to build for customers going forward. Now that's that's the holy grail as well on the front of pure analytics. It's very hard to accomplish in reality because it basically requires the customer to replicate their entire loyalty infrastructure and run one of them in ghost mode, and the other one is like the production environment. Then you can verify one versus the other, your predictions versus reality. That's a huge operation. That's a huge operation. So I would say anywhere from the spectrum of points to the computer suggesting the next best offer. Although I think that everybody's doing something in between those two things. So just doing cashback is not going to get anybody anywhere. Having the computer suggest offers for now is a little bit science fiction.
Okay. Now, from the very nascent stages of considering a program to the ability to assess and integrate an array of complex new technologies that create consistent and seamlessly connected programs, where do brands exist along this spectrum?
So I would say, we're currently this again relates to what I was talking about before in terms of with the points, what points programs are evolving to be. I would say that currently we're looking at a situation in which brands are figuring out how to talk to each other in an automated way. So right now there's no golden standard for businesses to exchange customer data at volume in a transactional way that is easy to enable between any two businesses. So there is essentially no standard for that exchange. So I feel like if I were to look at the environment right now, I would say that the primary struggle that I see is enabling this cross-sell, enabling cross communication between brands. It's a touchy subject. I fully understand that a lot of businesses, stay away from it because they feel like it's difficult to navigate, attribution, for instance. But it's not. It's not. First of all, it needs to happen. Second of all, it is not as difficult, especially from the perspective of the way we operate and what we give our customers. It's actually not that difficult to deliver. But organizationally, is usually a more challenge than it is actually in practice. But I feel like if one thing that I would point out would be definitely having loyalty programs, rewards programs, and customer profiles easily being exchanged between businesses.
Now, what is the single most important thing that you have done or do over a period of engagement, let's say a year, that helps clients increase customer loyalty?
So I feel like we're very much a technology company, and having said that, I feel like what we do most is we actually give our customer a voice. We give the business a language to speak. Because oftentimes when we come into a project environment, the customer understands what they want, but either they're not able to express it, or their expression is 95% there, and it's lacking the finishing touches in terms of what it is actually going to look like when it gets delivered, right? So our software, we've developed our own language within our platform, and that language is as descriptive as it can be for a business user. Over time, what happens is our customers are very happy that they now have a language that they can express the business rules, the offers, the customer behavior that they want to reward in a very uniform way.
Now, if you ask a brand, a customer, or a competitor one question, what would it be?
So, I would say that name your biggest wish, and especially in the realm of customer loyalty, I'm sure we can make it come true.
And then, what is the future of customer loyalty?
I feel, I definitely feel that, chasing behavioral analytics is the way to go. Exactly how this can be accomplished really heavily depends on the business, because we work across industry verticals, and we see how every customer, quite literally, this also comes from the fact we have a very flexible product, quite literally starts from a very different standpoint and goes after the customer's loyalty in very different ways. But I would say all customers, what they all share is they want to provide an experience based on what they expect the customer to do. And the only way to do that is with better analytics.
Thank you so much for meeting with me. I know you're a busy man, so I'll let you get back to your day.
All right, thanks so much.
Thank you.